You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
Want your boss to put some real action behind the rhetoric when they talk about making your workplace more inclusive? Find out how to hold their feet to the fire and demand diversity on the Diversity Dude podcast.
Hello there, and welcome back to the Diversity Dude podcast, recognized as one of the top 100 diversity and inclusion podcasts in the United States. I'm your host, Lambert Fisher, marriage and family therapist, award-winning author, and national speaker on the topic of multicultural awareness and diversity. And for even more positive and encouraging tips and strategies, I encourage you to check out my award-winning book, Diversity in Clinical Practice, which offers unique ways to positively address the often difficult topic of diversity, equipping helping professionals like you in your efforts to meet the greatest variety of cultural needs possible for those whom you serve. And if you haven't heard it yet, I invite you to visit TED.com and check out my talk called What to Do When You Offend Someone, where I offer a positive and practical perspective on how to navigate unintentional offenses in daily life. To date, it's been viewed over 500,000 times. Check it out for yourself. If you find it encouraging, share with a friend so that they can be encouraged as well. And whether it be through my one-on-one relationship building efforts as a therapist or my informing and empowering efforts as an author speaker, know that my personal mission is to do my part to improve the world, one strengthened relationship at a time. Now, today I'd like to share with you a few thoughts about how to help when differences have consequences. So, I just got back in town after speaking at a premier conference in Washington, D.C., helping mental health professionals from around the country in their efforts to utilize their relationship strengthening and conflict resolution skills to help create culturally safe personal and professional environments for everyone they serve. On many things, I discuss accepting that there will always be similarities and differences between us and those whom we are trying to serve or help in some way. The goal is to learn about both and use what we learn to help people live their best and healthiest life, ultimately helping those around them get the best version of that person possible. And as I offer live and interactive Q&A, and it's something that I often value in trainings like this, a mental health professional at this particular conference asked a pretty simple and straightforward question. What do I do if the difference between me and somebody else who I'm trying to help has horrible consequences? That's not something I just accept, right? So, considering the fact that other professionals in attendance seem to share this question, and since the feedback that I received suggesting that my answer seemed to resonate with those genuinely seeking to help do the most good and avoid the most harm, I thought I'd share with you the gist of that response. Answering the question, what do I do if the difference between me and the person I'm trying to help has horrible consequences? Consideration number one. Remember that acceptance doesn't mean approval. When I recommend that we all learn to accept that we all have similarities and differences, I'm not saying that everything everyone does is okay and we shouldn't have a problem with things or be concerned about things. That would be unreasonable. However, evaluating the implications or level of risk associated with people's goals, values, and behaviors is different from being shocked or flabbergasted by the mere existence of differences between you and other people. So often I hear people declare, why do they have to do things differently? Note that I said they declare this instead of asking it, because more often when I hear this, it is a declaration implying that they shouldn't do things another way. There's no need to do things another way. It's inconvenient when they do things another way. Matter of fact, they must be trying to cause chaos or disruption by trying to fix what isn't broken. In contrast, wouldn't it be nice if they were really asking why in hopes of increasing their understanding of why other people do things in a different way. Maybe if this genuine question was asked and learning occurred, the result would be understanding and acceptance of the existence of variety, dare I say, diversity. Let me be clear. This doesn't even assume that you'll change why you do things your way. You might be able to coexist based on different preferences, or better yet, different legitimate needs being met by different yet legitimate methods. And it all starts by learning to accept the inevitable existence of differences, which understandably leads to the second consideration, which is to find a way to share your legitimate concerns about the detrimental outcomes of someone else's efforts. What do I mean? Well, sometimes people have difficulty accepting people with different values, beliefs, and behaviors because the existing or projected negative outcomes of those values or beliefs and behaviors is concerning. Sometimes this involves different parenting styles, which some view as discipline and others view as abuse. Sometimes this involves different faith beliefs, which some view as a genuine and passionate effort to protect or save someone's eternal life, and others view it as an oppressive religious system seeking to control or limit their quality of life. Sometimes this involves political party affiliations, which they believe promote the protection of the people in their community, their city, their state, their country as a whole. And others view that party as misguided, leading individuals, families, and large communities into disastrous behaviors. And there, of course, many others where this comes from. But why do I bring up these contrasts? Because one of the best ways to bring about positive change, if that were to even occur, is to first show the other person that you understand the positive reasons why they value what they value, why they believe what they believe, why they do what they do. In this way, they not only don't have to waste time being defensive, concluding that if you object, you must not fully understand why I'm trying to do what I do and what I'm trying to accomplish. And you can instead build upon this acceptance and understanding of their desires and hopes by highlighting the hopefully unintentionally negative side effects and consequences of their actions to them. It's easy to get tunnel vision on your own positive goal and consequently be oblivious to the negative impact you can have on others. In an ideal world, the revelation of these consequences would be appreciated, and then we can work together to find a way to do the most good while producing the least harm as a result. And to be completely honest, there are other times when people can be made aware of the negative consequences of their actions, and their response is to further justify that the good outweigh the negative consequences and the bad that you see. Or put another way, the negative and horrible consequences are not only seen, but seen as an acceptable cost to bring about the positive change they're hoping for. And that's when you sit with consideration number three, which is to learn to accept that you can't force people to change. Or put another way, the role you play in people's lives influenced by the degree of impact you have in their lives. If you're in a mental health professional role, there are guidelines as to what you can do and what you cannot do. While we may be mandated reporters in the event of child abuse, elder abuse, suicidal or homicidal intent, there are also so many more illegal and unethical behaviors that we can hear about in that confidential space of the therapy room that we are not allowed to share outside, even if the consequences might be devastating. Sure, we maybe want to help, but at the end of the day, helping is not forcing. It is increasing awareness and providing guidance and strategies for making the healthiest decision possible. But ultimately, the decision is on them, not yours to control or force. They will have to live with the consequences, the ones that impact them and the ones that impact others as well. If, however, you are in a role of authority, you may find that you may be bestowed upon different levels of authority or power to enforce control over people's lives. Hopefully, though, focusing only on reducing one's ability to negatively impact others based on legitimate threats and assessments, not just the existence of differences, will be your goal. For even then, if authority is exercised, it's still only a temporary fix. If you force, if you control, it doesn't go past your restraints. For when your restraints are gone, the same person will resurface with the same values, with the same intent, and the same level of understanding. Unless someone was willing to listen, help them feel heard, help them see the legitimate value of their pros as well as the unfortunate detrimental consequences of their cons. Hopefully, giving them reason to pursue a healthier alternative, all the while still feeling the freedom to pursue the healthiest version of their goals, which was the intent the whole time. With all that being said, my hope for you is that you would see differences, even those with what you would believe to be detrimental or horrible consequences, and take the time to listen and understand before you try to change someone else. This isn't a passive gift of kindness to the other person. Rather, it's an effort to increase the likelihood of mutual understanding, as well as a mutual pursuit of win win options that benefit those with a variety of needs, not just the benefits of a few. And with that, I'll say thanks again for listening to today's Diversity Dude podcast. If you found it positive and insightful, then be sure to like and subscribe so that I'll know what topics you'd like me to address more on in the future. And share with a friend so they can be encouraged as well. You can also get my free guide for how your organization can learn positive and shame-free and empowering strategies for cultivating culturally safe work environments for you and everyone on your team simply by visiting lambertsfisher.com/playbook. Or share with them my award-winning book, Diversity in Clinical Practice, available on Amazon.com. And don't forget to visit TED.com and check out my talk called What to Do When You Offend Someone. I hope it inspires you and that you share with someone else so that they can be inspired as well. And as usual, I look forward to addressing as many topics as possible in future podcasts to help you improve as many relationships as possible at work, at home, and in your community. And as always, remember this. You don't need to know everything about everyone in order to have a positive impact on someone. Thank you all for tuning in and have a great day.
Tune in each week and find out how to demand and implement diversity at your job. To hear more, check out previous Diversity Dude shows on ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
Want to own a home, especially your first? Well then, welcome home to the Old National Bank Down Payment Assistance Program. We're here to help you from start to finish and make getting a mortgage a little easier. Plus, you may be eligible for up to $15,000 to use toward your down payment. How's that for a little easier? Everyone deserves a place to call home and a bank to help get them there. Connect with an Old National mortgage lender to learn more. Old National Bank. Get old in your new home.
When she walked in on her first day at Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas, she didn't know a soul.
I'm Zion, and I'm a second year at DFC.
A year later, and so many changes for Zion.
I love my friends here. I couldn't do anything without them. We support each other all the time.
At Doherty Family College, Zion also finds support on the academic side. Like all DFC students, Zion can count on a team committed to her success. Doherty Family College is Minnesota's affordable private college option. DFC students earn their associate's degree and then can transition to a 4-year college or university for their bachelor's. Many are students of color or first in their family to go to college.
It's nice to see people that look like you pursuing an education, wanting to succeed academically.
Zion encourages any high school student looking for a college home to do what she did and apply to Doherty Family College.
All the support you could need is here.
Ready to make your move and experience Doherty Family College for yourself? Then schedule your visit to the Minneapolis campus at dfc.stthomas.edu/visit.